Hi, everybody, and welcome to IDWSDS 2025. This is session 404. It's entitled 2RAM2 Relevance Response Aggregation Model and Measure. Helena Baptista is our speaker. This year's theme for our conference is Thriving Your Environment. We are recording the event, and videos will be available on the Caucus for Women in Statistics and Data Science YouTube channel. We kindly ask that you post any questions to the speaker in the Q&A, and I will let Helena take it away.
Thank you, Jessica. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Okay, let me start to share. Okay, so I'm going to share, and allow. And can you see my screen?
Yes, we see like the presenter view, but yes.
It's the presenter view?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I swap this place? Is it better?
It's perfect.
Okay, good. Well, good day to everybody. I'm not going to say morning or afternoon or whatever, because I know that we are in all of time places all over the world. So I want to start thanking the organization to, first of all, organizing this nice conference, and second, to accepting my submission. And it's definitely an honor to be here. And what I would like to do in these 15 minutes is to talk to all of us that are statisticians working in companies, working in enterprises. And sometimes what happens is that we have to do projects that we probably don't think we should be doing, or that we don't see a lot of relevance on it. You start to seeing some of the pieces of the name of the title of this presentation, or because we think that there is not a lot of value added or whatever, and we do not feel that we can say no. So I'm going to talk to all of us that have basically that feeling. So basically, I think that all of us have felt like this once in our life, that we feel frustrated because we hear someone telling us, well, we would like you to do this project, but we will not take a lot of decisions on that. We just want to see what the results are. Or we just want to see what it comes out, and then maybe in the future we will make the changes, we will implement the insights, we will probably do more analysis in the future, and but now is not a good time. Or basically all of these situations where we wanted to say, well, sorry, this is not a good project for this or this reason, but we feel that we cannot say no. Either because the project requester is someone senior in the company, or because we are new to the company and we want to prove that we can do the analysis. We know how to do it. It's not a problem of doing it. It's a problem of we think it's not the best approach. So you probably all already have heard about all of these prioritization frameworks that exist out there. Things like the low-hanging fruit, things like the Moscow approach, or the Eisenhower Matrix. Those are very much used in prioritization, in prioritizing projects. The question is, I did not feel that any of those were specific enough for a data science project. And that's where the 2RAM2 started. So as you can see, first of all, as you can see in the picture, those are not RUMs, there are LUMs, but they will, because also this is a new approach, a new framework, will probably need to evolve for something more mature. But the idea of the 2RAM2, it stands for, as you can see, relevance, response, aggregation, model, and measure. And I will go through each of those And then
I'm gonna take this for a moment, okay? Because you're gonna use your hand.
so I will go through each of those steps. And as you can see, each of those steps of that prioritization framework as an image. And the image has a purpose, of course. And I will talk about the image of each one because it can help us thinking about each of the steps. So before I go into depth in any of those 4 steps, you may notice that there is one part of the slide, the right-hand part of the slide, where you have a darker color, and then you have a lighter color on the left part of the slide. And because this tends to represent who is the most important or the most active person in the process in that specific step. And because this tends to be a conversation between the project requester and the data science group. And in this case, in the case of the relevance, it's much more dependent on the project requester than it is on the data science. Because what we want to uncover in this first step is exactly as it says, the relevance of the project. And as you can see, the image of this step is a semi-open gate. And the idea that I want to transmit in this step is that if we open that gate, if we start that analysis, if we start that project, we will uncover things, we will have insights that cannot be closed anymore, right? Because we will learn about this, we will learn about those phenomena, and the project requester need to understand that after we have learned about it, that we cannot unlearn it, of course. So we will not be able to close that gate anymore. And I just want to make sure that you understand that apparently this is the first step in the framework. But if you do not feel very comfortable having this conversation at the beginning, that's fine. You don't need to. You can see that during the framework, we can always come back to this step. Basically, what we want is to go from a situation where someone will tell us, I would really love to see those results, and then we will decide what we do with them, to a situation where we come to an agreement where we say, well, we have an hypothesis and we want to test it, and then we will act accordingly with what we see. And this is, as I said, this is just the first step, and we can always come back to it. Our second step, we see that we are moving more from the right-hand side to the left. Now it's more of a conversation between the two, between the project requester and the data science group, and it's more very specifically on the response variable, the outcome variable, whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, the image is an umbrella, and is building into a concept, a Martin concept, where you probably already heard about these brand umbrellas. So I'll probably trust to my favorite coffee brand to also sell me tea, but I will probably not be very confident if they want to try to sell me wine. So this umbrella is, what else can we do? What is under the umbrella of this? And very specifically giving you an example of what you should not be doing is, for example, if we want to measure the effectiveness of a disease awareness campaign, you should not be measuring that effectiveness by the estimated prevalence of the disease, because the objective of a disease awareness campaign is not to increase the prevalence of a disease. So trying to see if the campaign was successful or not by measuring the number of people that have the disease is not a good outcome to measure. A good outcome to measure is probably to measure how many people search in the web or whatever for further information about that disease, because the goal of that disease awareness campaign is to increase the awareness of the patients on the disease. So looking for information, the people that look for information is probably a good response, a good outcome variable to use in the model to measure a disease awareness campaign. The aggregation step is a very important step, more and more nowadays, where for many reasons, sometimes we don't have the data as disaggregated as we want, as we'd like it. For many times, for confidentiality reasons, we cannot get the information at the user level, at the patient level. We will have to have the data aggregated at a less granular level, so more aggregated, and as to show that, as you can see, the image is the world, because that's the ultimate aggregation level. But sometimes we will need to know at what level do we want to measure the treatment, in this case, the treatment, for example. And more importantly than that, if the data is aggregated and we are going to run a model in that data aggregated, are the conclusions going to still be valid, and can we still implement the conclusions? Because we may not even have enough information to make them implementable in a way. So we want to go from a situation where, if you want, for example, to measure the effect of the particulate matter, the known PM25, if we want to measure the effect of that in the number of deaths of COVID-19 deaths, we cannot run a model at the death level. We cannot run a model at the patient level, because we only have concentration levels at the zip code or the city code or something like that. So we need to make sure that we are measuring things at the right level of aggregation. For example, in the pharmaceutical industry, is one of our responsibilities is to train scientific experts. And those scientific experts are supposed then to train another healthcare professionals. So if you want to measure what is the effectiveness of that training, we should not measure just what the scientific expert does, but what we should be measuring is all of that network of that scientific experts. How do those healthcare professionals reacted? Finally, the model and the measure. And I keep them together because right now, as you can see, you are right in the left-hand side. This is more of a data science job to define that. And we should, upfront, before we start the project, we should know what we are going to measure. What do we really want to measure? What do we want our model to achieve? Is a lower root mean square error? Is a lower cross-validation, entropy, or what do we really want to measure? And we should define that at the beginning, before starting the project. Also, it's our job to, as data scientists, to decide that it's not because neural networks are very cool, and apologies for the expression, but just because everybody is using them, that we should use a neural network to solve this problem. We really need to make sure that we are using the right model, the right measure, to measure how well our analysis is going to answer the initial question. So after we have all of that, then we will be in a good position to say, yes, this is a project that we should continue doing or not. And as you can see, the final image in this step is a goal, because that's the ultimate objective of the project. I see there is a couple of questions in the chat. I just want basically to thank everybody. This is my email. I will be very happy to answer any questions if there is time, Jessica. If not, please email them to me. I just want to say thank you, and to say that hopefully this was helpful to everybody that needs to sometimes say no and they don't know how to say it. we'll stop.
Thank you so much.